I've heard Quickslide staff are training for green and black belts.
Well, yeah. So I had a, I've got a bit of a vision that isn't overly hard to deliver on, but what I want to do is I want to upskill as many of our operational team as possible in a variety of different areas. So it's not just production managers. You're talking, we've got production managers, we've got senior or head of production, we've got supervisors, we've got a four-man maintenance team and maintenance manager, we've got quality and technical, we've got stock controllers. So there's maybe 10 different areas of the on the operational side of the business that realistically there's no reason why they can't have these lean tools, because I mean I got them when I was younger. And I know what happens when you start to think in a lean way, if that makes sense. The whole business sort of mantra and ethos, certainly on the operational side, is about continuous improvement, and that's a fundamental element behind lean. It's minor changes for continued improvement, and it can't just be led by me or another person or an operations man. It can't be that. So what we want to do as the business grows, and it still is growing, we want it to be pushed rather than pulled along. And in order for that to happen, we need to upskill and train. And it's not that we don't do that anyway, but these are quite the green belt has often been regarded as, I don't know, you'd normally get, I don't know, senior managers that have green belt training. It was always really fancy, but it's not. It's the start of someone's lean journey. It's it's probably stage two. I think white belts first, then yellow. We go straight into green. So we train them at a decent level, and it's all done externally. So I think we've got about 25 people scheduled, so booked in and scheduled. I think we've completed about 8 so far, maybe 8 or 9. We do 3 at a time, so it must be 9. And that's kind of just one package of training that we want to deliver to start with. But then we want to go a step further because we can. Yeah. So then we go on to black belt. Now black belt is like, oh, hang on, black belt trained. Now that's a step further, and it's that's definitely taxing. But again, there's no reason why we can't train these individuals to that level. When I want a team of and a broad team of individuals across various elements of the operational aspect of the business to be thinking of, how can I change that? Why is that way? Where can I eke out some efficiency from here? It's a mindset shift, but it's wonderful as well being able to give these skills to these individuals, because that's how a business gets better. We want these people to grow, and we want to expand their knowledge base, and we want to give them something. I was always told that this business is a vehicle for you to achieve what you want to achieve, and it's also nice for us to give back something, albeit they've got to go and learn stuff. But at the end of it, they are going to have skills and tools in their arsenal that 90% of the directors in the country don't have or understand. And I've got it at supervisory level, and I've got it in 10 different aspects of the operational side of the business, like health and safety, maintenance, stock control. Do you know what I mean? All of, understanding Kanban systems and things like that. It all has value somewhere in what we do. And you also can't afford to not train staff. That's just not the type of business we are at all. As I said earlier, the mantra of the business is about customer service, And this is just one way in which we can deliver better customer service, because we're going to train and upskill individuals who are going to provide feedback and better ways of doing things and so on and so forth into the business, which means that we can expand capacity, improve quality, reutilize more material, be more efficient in a variety of ways. So we can either deliver something quicker, we can deliver more of something, we can grow as a business ultimately. So do you know the other thing is, no one does it. Or I don't know anyone that does it. I mean, I think large organizations like Coca-Cola do it, but we're going to do it. We already have. We already started, because it's the right thing to do. I want this team of thinking professionals around me. So then I don't have to be, it doesn't need me or an operations manager or another director to be the ones that come up with the ideas, because it's gonna start to gather momentum on its own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So that's the vision.
Yeah.
To just have this team of individuals that are highly trained and highly skilled.
You mentioned training. How much do you think, or how much do you know, that Quickslide's invested into training in a year?
Well, I mean, this year specifically, we've got a huge kind of training program lined up across all aspects of the business. So we've partnered, and we have partnered for many years now, with Dale Carnegie, which is a lot of that's kind of behavioural training. Certainly, when you look at the Winning Friends course and so on and so forth. But they've got 4 kind of open programs that they run across a year. And I think we've got just in 2024, I think we've got about 40 people to courses. So we've got 40 people doing some sort of course, whether it's Winning Friends or developing leadership potential or, what's the other one they do? High impact presentations. And there's another one. I think it's a higher end sort of leadership and management one. So we've got a huge sort of array of individuals doing that just over the next 6 months. On top of that as well, we've got the lean stuff we talked about. So that's a big element of operational development. On the back of that as well, I mean, they're all external things where we go out to a provider and say, this is what we want to do, and they come back to us with a proposal. But then you've still got all the fundamental things that can't really be overlooked. So I think we've got about 16 people redoing their IOSH at the moment. So that's health and safety qualification. We've got, I think, 12 people that do their fire marshal training. So we've got another 12 people that do first aid, so that full sort of 5-day St. John ambulance first aid. There's all of this stuff that just goes on in the background as well. And the thing is, we don't have to do it, but we choose to do it because it's all important. Like, we're not a business that's got one health and safety person and all other responsibility sits with them. That's just not how we work at all. You want 20 people fully trained in order that you get feedback from 20 people. You'd rather have 20 sets of eyes looking at something than one. I'm trying to think what else we've got going on in the background as well. I mean, we have they're all external. Internal, we have sort of our HR system, as it were. We use Citation, if you've heard of it. There's other ones available. Sound like the BBC. But that at the moment, sort of every person, I think, as you come into the business, and if you're in the business, there's about 30 different courses that you have to do, before you can even go and do anything. Got to do them. So, and there could be a variety of stuff, things like manual handling, health and safety at work. There's a load of health and safety stuff. Then we've got, I don't know, bloody bullying and sexual harassment and all of that type of stuff that you got to do as well. And then we've got our IT department out here. So they run a separate system where there's company-wide training that happens for user awareness. So everyone has to do that. No choice. Has to be done. and that there's probably 2 courses a month go out on that, and they're only maybe 10 or 15 minutes. But it comes back to this continuous improvement mentality. We don't have to do any of this. We choose to do it because it's the right thing to do, because the business needs protecting. It needs protecting on an IT front. It needs protecting on a health and safety front. And this is not just the business, but the individuals within, all the stakeholders, anyone that visits site. And all of this is training. It's for the upskilling of the individual. I'm trying to think what other training we've got scheduled this year. Anything else? I think I've got some stuff for me lined up towards the back end of the year. I can't quite actually remember what it is, but it's something that I thought, yes, I like the sound of that. So as directors as well, so myself, Tom and Claire, will all actively be involved in our own self-development. But we also all have responsibility to ensure that every one of the staff that either report into us or work directly for us have their own development plan, because they do. So that might extend to maintenance, it might extend to quality, it might extend to customer service. Every individual has a development plan around them, and courses that are allocated to them, and training that's lined up for them, and so on and so forth. And again, that's just the business trying to ensure every individual reaches their potential, because we have a responsibility to do that, because we want them to be the best version that they can be of themselves, really, so we can all kind of prosper together. So this year, loads of training. All the training is happening this year.
Thousands of pounds worth.
It is absolutely.
Yeah.
It's well over a 6-figure investment.
But
what makes a business what a business is? It's the people. And if you can't afford to not invest in your staff. If you choose someone to work for you, you have a responsibility and an obligation to invest in them. Otherwise, nothing's going to ever be any different. So don't expect a different result if nothing changes. Yeah?
Wise words for anyone listening.